Hello everyone, I'm Jessica and I'm back from stream month. Did you miss me? Hopefully you didn't because I streamed for that whole month, so there are a bunch of streams up on my channel if you want to watch those. But I am back and today I want to talk about the safety of beds, not the fact that they explode in the nether or the end. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that beds will explode in the nether and the end. So that knowledge isn't really what I want to talk about today. Don't use beds in the nether or the end. That's common knowledge. What I want to talk about is some strange properties of beds and how they can kind of protect you from things you might not have expected. So here I have a nice little sort of diagram, I suppose, where I've lined up a bunch of the stuff that on this side, things beds won't protect you from, and on the other side, things beds will protect you from to some extent. And you might see some surprises here, but let's go through it one by one. First of all, beds will not protect you from hunger or any other negative status effect, really. Anything can still hurt you while you were lying in a bed, and in fact, if you take damage while in a bed, be that from a potion effect or a mob, you will get out of the bed and you will not be able to sleep. So this includes stuff like starving to death. It also includes stuff like arrows or even snowballs or eggs being shot at you from a dispenser. And firework rockets exploding above your head. Remember, that's a feature they added recently where if firework rockets explode somewhere in the near vicinity, you take damage. And those firework rockets will force you to get out of the bed. And also, pufferfish will do the same. If you sleep in a bed next to a pufferfish, it might be a bit hard to test. It took me a while to figure out whether pufferfish actually do damage to the player while they are in bed. But yes, a player in bed next to a pufferfish will take damage from the pufferfish if it is properly inflated. It's just a little bit tricky to show that, but it does happen. And also, tipped arrows and potion effects will still work on you, as I said. Now I'm just going to give you a quick example of one of these, but I don't believe you need to see all of them, right? I'm just going to put some snowballs in here. Oh, and I should probably mention that the world I'm currently in is a test world, a 700k test world released by Xisumavoid for his 700k special, and I'm probably going to be making a lot of videos in this world because it has some really nice features that are really convenient for me. So expect to see this world for a while. But anyway, back to this. So I have here a little contraption that's going to shoot a snowball at me, and the bed's a bit glitchy, but it should work just fine for the purposes of this. So I'm going to flick the lever, there's going to be a bit of a delay before the snowball shoots, but then the snowball will shoot and push me out of the bed, as you will see. There you go. So yes, all of these beds will not protect you from. However, what I find much more interesting is the things beds will protect you from. First of all, starting with lava and fire, some of which is a little bit iffy. But let's take a look at this. So, lava, beds can just about protect you from. So I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to go into survival mode, walk very carefully up to this lava, and sleep in the bed. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by lava on all sides, but I'm doing just fine. Now, getting out of the bed is a little bit tricky. And if you don't have a decent amount of fire resistance, you will have some trouble. But the bed itself is absolutely fine, and you in it are absolutely fine, even though you are surrounded by lava. It's crazy, but it's true. And I find that hilarious, personally, how beds will protect you from lava. However, if I sleep in it again, you will see that a bed does not protect me from fire, and in fact, if I take fire damage while I'm in the bed, I get immediately kicked out of it. So, beds will help you with lava, but they won't help you with fire, sadly. And that is just an interesting thing I found, that you can sleep in the middle of lava. You can also sleep on top of magma blocks. A bed placed on magma blocks will be just fine to sleep in. You won't feel any pain or discomfort. You'd think that sleeping on top of literal magma would be at least slightly uncomfortable, you know, a little bit hot, maybe burning, you know, but apparently Steve is just fine with that. Steve can literally sleep on I'd say a bed of hot coals, but it's even worse than that. So there you go, there's a fun fact for you. And now I want to talk about TNT. I am going to come over here and place some TNT right next to a bed. So let's place down a bed, place down some TNT, and for good measure, I'm placing it right next to the bed. Next we have a flint and steel. Gonna grab that. Gonna go into survival mode again. Alright, we are in survival mode. I'm gonna light this TNT and sleep. And boom! That's a heart of health, everyone. 1 heart. Now, if you don't understand the significance of that, let me place down another block of TNT and stand right next to it and show you what happens. As you will see, I die. So, the crazy thing, oops, that's bad, about a bed is it actually blocks almost all TNT damage, which is insane to me, and I have no idea why they chose to introduce this as a feature. But apparently, beds are extremely safe against TNT. And believe it or not, the same actually goes for end crystals. Now, end crystals are a little bit trickier to test, because if you're too close to an end crystal, boom, that's it. Even if you're in a bed, an end crystal right next to the bed will kill you. And that's no matter what. So, it is a little bit trickier to test this. However, I'm going to show you proof of this. I'm going to place an end crystal here. I'm going to grab a dispenser and some arrows. I'm going to activate this lever, stand on the bed, and that will blow up the end crystal, and you will see that I take a significant amount of damage right there. However, I'm going to heal myself up, and then we are going to sleep in the bed and repeat the same experiment. Now, in theory, we should be at the same distance and receive the same amount of damage from the end crystal. However, you will see that this is definitely not the case, because if I sleep, I'm going to well, first I gotta turn that off, right? But now I'm gonna turn it back on, sleep in the bed, and you'll see that it does explode, but we only take half a heart of damage. So beds do make a huge difference to end crystal damage as well, as long as you're not within a lethal range of a few blocks, because end crystals do still do damage, just not nearly as much. And here's another thing that beds are good at, or good for. They're good for equipping armor, because if I get rid of this piece of redstone, so here I have a simple machine set up with a dispenser next to the bed. This is a glitchy bed, but it will still work, I promise. So dispenser has a piece of diamond armor in it, and when I activate this lever and sleep in the bed, it will get dispensed onto me. Here's the proof. Boom, and boom. You heard the dispenser activate, I hope. And I now have the diamond chestplate equipped on my body, and if you want proof, there is no more diamond chestplate in the dispenser. This dispenser effectively equipped the diamond chestplate onto me while I was inside the bed. And I think that's pretty interesting, because it could be a very effective way of attacking someone, well, pranking someone, by hiding dispensers under their bed, and then hiding a tripwire or something that they activate as they go to sleep. You could just have a totally hidden way of equipping something with cursive binding on them, and then they just have maybe like a dunce cap on or some ridiculous leather armor, and they would have no way of taking it off, and they wouldn't even suspect a thing until they were wearing it. And I personally think that's pretty funny. So then there's boats. What if you were stuck in a boat, you didn't see the press left shift to dismount tip, so you were just kind of stuck in it, and you were like, how do I get out of here? I need to get out, and no matter what you pressed, you just kept moving around in the boat, and you didn't know what to do, and you got stuck in blocks, and you didn't know how to get out. That was actually totally unintended. What if you had no idea how to get out of a boat? Well, what you could do is place down a bed and get inside the bed, because that, believe it or not, actually works. And then if you leave the bed or just sleep the night away, whichever one you prefer, you will wake up safe and sound outside your boat. That's just another cool little tip for if you ever forget how to get out of boats, which I have actually done once or twice. So, to recap the whole video, what was the point of this video? To show you, to ask about how safe boats are, and I think I have demonstrated that boats have some very unique that beds have some very unique properties, some very interesting properties. Beds are not effective against potion effects, or arrows, or snowballs, or pufferfish, or eggs, or rockets, or tipped arrows. However, they are pretty effective against TNT, magma blocks, lava that is being surrounded by it, and end crystals, and they are also good for putting on armor or even getting out of boats. So, in conclusion, beds can help you survive TNT and end crystals. They can help you put on armor or prank your friends, and that's also a very safe thing to do, pranking your friends. Trust me on that one. But really, what I mean is beds can help you be safer by automatically equipping you with armor if you want. And there can also be a safe way of being on top of magma blocks. So, there you have it, folks. Beds are safer than you might think, and maybe some of you found this useful. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. And thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays. Bye!